Hello everyone, Freejack Prepper here. Well, this particular video is not going to be about aliens or 72-hour bug-out bags. It's more of a concern that I've had for the last several weeks, which has been gnawing at me. And what has been is I keep seeing this growing consensus amongst preppers. And I mean from forums to blogs to YouTube videos, all of them. And it's not like that people are prepping any longer for any generalized SHTF event. No. You can read it and hear it in their rhetoric, where it seems more like they are hoping something truly bad is going to happen. And I'm not talking just a standard event like a weather catastrophe, but I'm talking a full-blown SHTF with rule of law out the window, just mass hysteria. Some even seem like they are looking forward to almost like a Book of Eli type scenario. And for all those out there that really want something to happen, I feel you. I really do. Do you want a return on your investment? You know, because you've spent all this time and money in preparation. That'll all go to waste and never be used. Well, think about it. Many of us have fire extinguishers in our house, and what is that for? It's a preparation that in the event there's a fire in your house, you can extinguish it. I've never had to use mine, and here's the thing, I never want to. And technically they go to waste, and every few months you go get them charged, and it's costing you money. Just like your auto insurance, you pay for it, you may never have an accident. That money has gone into somebody else's pockets. So I'm not hoping my house burns down. I mean, there are some out there probably that are wishing their house would burn down and get the insurance money and go live a different life. But in the end, we don't want that. So with this, I don't think that enough people have sat back and really understand what a major grid down would mean. It's not just no power to run your microwave or you watch your TV and eventually the electrical pumps at the pumping station for the water. But has anybody considered the simple fact that in this country alone, we have 61 commercially operated nuclear power plants? Of those 61, there's 99 total nuclear reactors. That's in the United States alone. Taking that in consideration, in this country, if there was a major event and a major grid down scenario, and if the Department of Energy does not have the staff, or the Department of Navy doesn't slate their nuclear engineers over to the private sector to man those, they're going to fail. Now, here in the United States, back in 1979, I was just a boy, but I remember watching on the news with my parents was the 3 Mile Island incident. And in that incident, we got lucky. We didn't have a major meltdown like Chernobyl, but all this was caused by a stuck valve in reactor number 2. It took 14 years to clean up that mess. And everyone says, well, there was really no problem. Epidemiological studies analyzing the rates of cancer in and around the area since the accident has not shown any significant impact amongst people that may or may not have been affected. Okay, how many of you remember Chernobyl? That killed a lot of people, and it's still killing nearly 30 years after the event, with an estimated 20,000 years before humans can safely live in the zone again. That's a really long time, don't you think? And that's just one nuclear power plant. But now, look at America. 99 total reactors, and if all of those fail, the cloud from that uranium fire just burning, it's going to not only kill a lot of people, it's going to contaminate the soil, it's going to contaminate the air, the rain that falls, it's going to kill off animals. And so the thing is, there's a lot of people says, well, I got wells on my property, I don't have to worry about that. Well, where does the water in your well come from? The water table. And what replenishes the water table? Rainfall. And yes, Earth itself will do enough to filters out a lot of pathogens and contaminants. But every prepper and survivalist knows that eventually your water filter becomes over-contaminated by these things and stops working. So yes, you might get a little bit more longevity depending on what type of soil your well is dug through, how deep the well is. But in time, that radiation will get through. And yes, we can all distill our water. And even through distillation, it's been proven that you can remove radioactive material. You can reduce radiation levels. But not everyone has it still. But sadly, in short order, depending on radiation levels, your distillation system will also become contaminated. But it's not just nuclear power plants. We have thousands of chemical plants in this country alone, ranging from Dow Chemical, ExxonMobil, DuPont, BP, Chevron Phillips, Mosaic, Air Products, Eastman Chemical, Honeywell. These are all big companies, and they make some pretty nasty chemicals. And if you don't think any of these are of any real concern, well, for that, We can just look at the incident in Bhopal, India in 1984. And that was a Union Carbide insecticide plant that was over there. And their chemicals seeped out while tens of thousands of people slept. And it killed 2,000 people in their sleep and injured 150,000 more. This is one plant. We think that we are so invincible. And but that's a different country. That happened a long time ago. Well, yeah, there are different countries, but the effects that happen there, they can topple over the dominoes here. Look at Fukushima. When the tsunami hit in 2011. This was a natural disaster that caused a nuclear meltdown, and scores died. And now the area is toxic. They still don't even have that under control. So it doesn't matter what causes the grid down. You have to look at the simple fact that our society is so fragile, like a nice little robin's egg, that it doesn't take much to crack. And once it cracks, the insides start to ooze out, and it's mass hysteria. So the next time you sit here and you plan, and it's good to plan, it's good to think about all the scenarios. The problem is no one's prepared for that type of fallout. You might have some radiation gear, you might have some chemical gear. Do you have both? The thing is, what we preppers need to do is, yes, we need to prepare. But as the Patriot nurse said, you need to contact your state representative. You actually need to pick up the phone and call them. Don't write letters, call them, talk to somebody. Make change. Stir the shitstorm if you have to, so that they know that you as a person, as an individual, a citizen of this country, because remember, this country is of the people, by the people, for the people. We are the government. Those in Washington are only our spokesmen, and yet we allow them to rule as kings on the throne. We need to make change. We may need to make the change and get some of these safeguards in place. We are the ones that can control whether or not a non-environmental impactor actually happens. We are the ones with the power to do so. And yes, we are also given a constitutional right that if the government is not working, that we can replace it. And sometimes it needs that. Little revolution is good from time to time, don't you think? So the thing is, you can prepare. You can stockpile your food, your water, your guns, your ammo, your clothing. You can have a great bug out location. You're off-grid. But if you are not prepared, and no one is prepared, just understand, if you are downwind from any of these things happening, that bug out location you take so much pride in will become your tomb. This is Freejack Prepper out. Be safe, live free, and God bless America. Thank you.